Genetics is always hitting the headlines as scientists search for breakthroughs in the treatment of disease and injury. Sometimes their research causes a real storm. But these images are a world away from the reality of genetic medicine now. To decide where it goes in the future, we need to examine our attitudes as well as understand what's going on in the laboratory.
Discoveries will be made, new things will be known, and what we've got to decide is how to take them forward. Some things may be very, very uncomfortable now and not be wrong. Other things are uncomfortable and may be wrong. And we've got to make some ethical, some moral, some scientific decisions as a society as to whether we will take them forward.
I sort of oscillate between excitement for what we can do and a slight fear. We've recently heard that we can now look at IVF embryos to look for those that may have defective genes in order to only implant the ones that are healthy. Now that in its own right is great, that's fantastic, but the implications of that and how far we go down the line of the designer baby is scary. It's scary, and that's why we have ethical committees to look at these things, and I think it's important that we do that.
Human knowledge always advances, and once you find something, you discover something, you can't really take it back. You can't push it back. What's important is how you use it, and that is the most important thing. It's how you use it, and that shouldn't be just a decision for doctors or scientists to make. It should be a decision that society makes, and there has to be an open, healthy debate about how that is used.
Parliament has had to set up committees to regulate this rapidly developing science. These committees are wrestling with huge issues that may affect the lives of all of us. They're constantly monitoring where we should draw the line. Should we allow selection of embryos? Is it right to screen out disease? How much should we just let nature run its course? And how much should we allow science to alter our genetic destiny?
Part of being human is all to do with changing nature. Once we started wearing clothes, burning fires, cooking our food, using antibiotics, in a sense, we were going against nature. And there aren't many people that would want to go back to before we had those sorts of technologies.
But these new technologies are part of our changing expectations of what doctors can do for us, particularly when it comes to babies.
I think when people lived in Victorian times, everybody knew that babies often died young, and people almost expected it. Nowadays, people expect to be able to conceive as soon as they would like to. They expect to have a healthy baby delivered at term, and they expect that child to be healthy throughout their life. And of course, there's no guarantee that that's going to happen.
People now want to say, well, is there something I can do to ensure that normality during pregnancy at any stage? And if it's not right, I'd like to take another option or perhaps try again. I think that's the difficult issue, saying my expectation is absolutely fine, and if it's not fine, can I have another one, please?
I think our raised expectations do sometimes create problems because people are not prepared for when things go wrong.
And some people have worried that instead of children being seen almost as a gift, whether or not you believe in God, but just they arrive and you do your best with them, we'll start to treat them as if we were buying a car. In other words, where you have certain standards that you expect.